What's good, guys? It's Map to Success back again with another video, and today we have a very special guest on the show. It's Amanda Devik from the DigiBAT Foundation, and we will be talking about some very exciting and educational stuff as always. So I will like to introduce her officially to you guys. Amanda, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks for having me, Maps.
Yeah, how you been doing? How's everything been going?
Everything's great. It's been a really exciting day. We had the official paperwork go through for the DigiByte Foundation. So there's a lot of buzz around that. And we can talk a little bit more about the DigiBs and everything too, if you want.
Wow, that is some exciting news. That is very, very exciting. It is so many things that is in development and so many different things that we have to touch base on. But real quick, I have a couple of questions. The first one that I always try to ask, like new interviewees on the show is I ask them about their crypto journey. Like, how did you initially got into cryptos? How did you first transition into cryptos or even heard about it?
Okay, yeah. So I was living in the Bay Area in like 2014 when that whole big bull run was happening and everything. And there was this story that came up that I remember reading about. It was somebody was trying to pay for their rent in Bitcoin, and they were actually like doing it. So it was one of the first times that I had seen Bitcoin actually being used for something significant like living expenses. Okay. And we're talking about a time when like people were talking about Bitcoin all over the place, but still a lot of people didn't really know what it was, or how it was being used, or what they could do with it. So that's when I was like, okay, I think like I feel more confident about learning more about this. Well, I still didn't even get any crypto until I was gifted some by a friend of mine, Shinobi One, Jomel Jones. So he gave me some
Wow.
Litecoin, and that was really awesome. But it just sort of sat in my wallet for a while.
Litecoin.
I got Coinbase, and I, went through all of that in like 2017. I had an accident, so I was kind of, you know, out of the game for a little while on everything. But at the end of last year, Blazord from DigiByte, he tipped me through Twitter using CoinKit, and it was still relatively new. But when he told me it was crypto, I was like, hold on a second, this is actually going somewhere, okay? Because it's like when you see people using it in social media, when it's easy to do like that, um, then it made me really excited about it. I was just like, from that point on, I spent all my extra time learning as much as I could about cryptocurrency, and of course, specifically a lot about Digibyte.
Oh, no, that's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. And we definitely have to give a big shout out to Blazord. You know, he is one of the movers and shakers in the industry. He is doing so much for the Digibyte community and for cryptos on a whole. You know, he is like the one behind the whole crypto memes, if a lot of people really don't know. But he is doing such an amazing job. So shouts out to him. And the whole Digibyte Foundation and the Digibyte Awareness Team is definitely going to be huge. Like they are doing so many different developments, working on so many different projects behind the scenes. Stuff is just ongoing and onboarding that it's like people really won't even realize how big this is until it eventually starts rolling out.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's so if I can explain the structure of the Digibyte Awareness Team really quickly. Um, Basically, there's a core group that consists of marketing representatives, and then there's the developers. And we do whatever we can to help keep DigiByte running smoothly, first of all, making sure that people know pertinent developments that have been happening on the tech end, and with being picked up and listed by exchanges, things like that. It's really important information for people. And then we have the DigiByte advocates. So anybody can be an advocate, and we have a Telegram channel that you can join if you're interested in being more active within the DigiByte community.
Nice, nice. And see, I think that's like one of the most amazing things that you could possibly do for a community like this. Because here's the thing, we have so many different developments that's going on, so many different areas, and so many different people working on so many different projects, that it's like we need to differentiate like all the different areas and aspects of what we really do in a community like this,
Yeah.
because it could be so easily confused with all the different underlying technology that DigiByte has to offer. Because it's like people would say, okay, it's great for payments, it's great for security, it's great for assets. It could be used to launch smart contracts. You could build apps on top of it, or dApps, decentralized applications. And it's so unique in the state that it could be one piece of technology that's spread out into so many different things, and people could easily get confused with it, because they're like, how does one technology or one piece of technology be so diverse into so many different things? Like, it literally solves so many issues that is like that is ongoing now, that is so incredible. And that's like one of the things that is going to be huge for it in the future. And I say that without any big certainty, because I know that it's headed in the right direction, and it's going to be capturing a whole lot of attention in the future, especially where the DigiByte Awareness Team comes into play.
Yep. There's definitely a lot of wonderful things happening as far as the DigiByte Foundation, because it looks like one of their main objectives is going to be helping the DigiByte Awareness Team get funding for some of the more pertinent projects that really need funding in order to get anywhere. And that's going to help us, fortify our organization even as we are remaining decentralized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's always a good thing, because in the sense of having a cryptocurrency like this that is so different, but at the same aspect, it's completely decentralized. And it's hard to have people understand that it's something that's open source, that nobody owns but anybody could use. And people still really find that so hard to believe. Like, so how does it work? How do you actually trust the system and not freak out when something happens? And then that's where I educate a lot of people about how it works, when I tell them, like, look, it's completely decentralized in the fact that nobody owns it, because it's an open source piece of technology. It's something that you could build on top of. It's similar to Bitcoin, but it's not only just similar, but it's faster in so many different ways, and it's taken a whole different direction of a step as far as implementing security, implementing scalability, and overall governance, and just being diverse in so many different ways. And it's truly incredible. It's incredible explaining that to people, and just watching them, like, just watching their face light up, and they're like, it's almost like a kid going in a candy store. They're like, wow, so you're telling me that I could do this and I could do. I'm like, yeah, yeah, you can. It's being built, and some of it is actually a working product right now, like DigiID. Atom ID, and it's it's um it's definitely going places.
Absolutely. And, I think that if you're new coming into the space and if you are interested in DigiByte, my best advice for you would be, you know, do what you do well and love it and continue to bring that, because personally, when I first got involved with DigiByte, I wanted to help anywhere I could because I believed in the project so much, and it's easy to get excited about all of the different things that are going on, but it is also overwhelming. So, be who you are, excel at what you're good at, and bring that to the space. And you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah, yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to like really differentiate everything and just choose one thing and go off of. But I know a lot of people know me in the space as being one of the educators that go out and just do it. I have like a basically go-getter mentality where I just go out and I just meet random people and I share stories of not only about Digibyte, but with Litecoin and Bitcoin in a sense too, because you have to you have to give people knowledge in not just one area, but in a diverse amount of areas, so they could actually look at different projects too in a different sense, because there might be some aspect of stuff that one project may offer, or you know, one project may actually have that really started it all. Meaning, like with Bitcoin, I always try to pitch Bitcoin to people first because it's one of the most popular, if not the most popular, cryptocurrency out there. Because everybody's basically heard about a little bit about Bitcoin at this point, or at least heard the name. A lot of people may not know what it is, but they might have heard the name or see it on the news somewhere or on CNBC. And one of the things about that is I give them a lot more clarity on what Bitcoin is, how it could be used, why it was created, how they can use it. And it's just mind-blowing to see how people really gravitate to information such as this, because I remember when I just started, I was telling people about it, on the daily, and it spiraled into something totally different. Because I know a lot of people know what I actually do, like when I'm out and about. I drive for Uber and I drive for Lyft, and I go out and educate people on different ways how they could preserve wealth, how they could actually learn about the crypto space, how they could actually educate themselves and do their own research and learn what it is that we're actually having built and what we're a part of. And it's truly amazing having the level of feedback that I've been getting from it. Because it's like, even on the app, I've had so many wonderful feedbacks where people would be like, this is like the most educational ride I've ever had in my entire life. I've never been in a car this excited. Like, it's never happened before. And that's truly amazing, because that, in a sense, just gives you that much more of a hope, because you're like, okay, people are literally like soaking this up like sponge. So it just motivates me to keep going. And I would assume that's what it does for you too, being a part of the awareness team.
Yeah, totally. And you know what? As far as people getting introduced to the app, that's something that I've heard over and over again that really draws them into the community in general. People that download the wallet, they see how easy it is to use. Once they get the hang of it, they're like basically interested in collecting more Digibyte. And that's, it's a great thing to have. We have these seed cards now too, which might actually be kind of handy for you if you're driving around and, introducing yourself to new people. But these seed cards that you can get at Crypto Bantam, on one side it says be your own bank. On the other side, it has a QR code for both the App Store and Google Play. So all anybody needs to do is have a QR scanner and scan it. It takes you right to where you can download the DigiByte wallet.
Nice, nice. Yeah, see, I have my own personal seed cards that I had made up. I actually ran
Awesome.
out. I actually ran out of them because I passed them out so much because I pass them out in every ride that I do.
Yeah.
So I meet so many different people on the daily, and after educating them, I just politely hand them a seed card and tell them, hey, you could actually scan this QR code. It'll take you to this website and it'll teach you pretty much, what you need to know about the piece of technology that I'd explained to you. So you basically, like, you could go on there, it takes you to the website. You could read up about it, do your research. If you so choose to go further and invest in it, I always tell people to do their research before they do anything. I would be the last person to tell anybody, you know, go invest in a Bitcoin because, you'll be rich next week or something like that. Like, no, I will not tell anybody to put their money into anything that they haven't, did their own due diligence and research into. So that's one of the main thing that that's one of the main things that I tell people about all the time. I'm like, I'm the last person that will force anybody to do anything that they're not comfortable with. If they so choose to do it after they read up on it and they do their research and they feel comfortable, by all means, you're basically free to take the next step. It's something that it's why it's open source, because it's permissionless. You could basically make decisions, off of what you think that makes sense, not what somebody else thinks or what somebody else tells you to do. You know what I mean? That's literally what we're trying to drive ourselves away from, because that's what the banks raised us into, like from the beginning of time, from so many years, from the gold and silver standards up until now, being in the digital age. It's literally something where they tell you, they dictate to you what you need to do every step of the way, and it almost falls into something like protocol. So if you don't follow it, you're screwed. But having something like Digibyte, Bitcoin, Litecoin around, you really don't need them anymore, because just like your C card says, you could be your own bank.
It's about freedom. That's what
Yeah.
it's about.
Yeah, that's literally what it is. That's literally what it is. But tell us though, like, when was it that you first actually got really serious with cryptocurrencies, and when was the first time you actually started really digging and diving deep into the technology, and just went down the rabbit hole, as we all say?
Yeah, so it was towards the end of last year, when I discovered crypto Twitter, right?
Yeah, yeah, it's actually a thing. People don't know it. A lot of people don't know it actually exists, but it's actually there. It's
So
actually there.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I have a 1.5-year-old daughter, and it's really difficult to think about things like planning for the future when I feel like I'm kind of trapped at home all the time, and I feel like I'm not, I can't work. And all of those stresses are very present in my mind. So when I discovered crypto Twitter, when I saw people collecting cryptocurrencies through CoinKid giveaways, even though it was micro amounts, I was like, you know what? I can do this and watch my daughter and develop some kind of financial security out of it as long as I'm smart about it. And so for me personally, as a stay-at-home mom, I don't have money coming in. I do my best to earn cryptocurrency, to win it in giveaways, or to provide other services that like people reward me with it for. And I'm not like cam girling or anything. I'm just working hard and I'm doing what I can. I have some digital assets, the digi assets, that they provide a twofold purpose right now. They are learning tools for people that are just learning about digi assets. They're also promotional tools, you know, for getting people excited in digital assets, right?
Hmm.
And then they're a source of, you know, it's small, but it's a source of income for me, and it's DigiByte. And if the value of DigiByte goes up, and which I'm like, you know, I can't say anything about financial futures or investments. This is not financial advice.
Not financial advice, guys. You heard
You
it
know,
here.
but my hope and my prayer is that by the time my daughter is ready to go to college, I'll have something to offer her, you know, even if it's just that. You know, I'm not even talking about like getting into huge legacies like crypto legacies of people earning tons and tons and tons of money through cryptocurrency. The real reason why I got into it is for that practical reason, and it's what keeps me doing it. And I hold most of my coins. I still do giveaways, you know, I still do tons of giveaways for awareness, but for me, usually what's coming in is more than what I'm putting out, and it's always well worth it.
Nice, nice. But I know for sure that I could definitely see the passion from you just, trying to be self-educated and learning about what it really is and the direction that we're heading. And it's definitely something that is going to be so much more rewarding in the future. I can't even stress that enough because all the hard work that we're putting in now is definitely going to pay off in the long run, or at least we would hope it does. Because if this actually goes in the direction that we all hope it does, it's something that, it's not impossible to see Digibyte on like the face of a Forbes magazine, or something in the Fortune 500. Not that it's a company in a sense where you have a CEO or anything like that, because it don't, and it's completely decentralized, but in a sense of the underlying technology that it offers and what each and every business could actually accrue and actually learn to actually scale their business models with, and turn around and not only save money but be more efficient and be a lot more secure while they're doing that. That is completely like the main goal for having like digi assets or the Digibyte community, to work on any kind of project, or even having something like digi ID that businesses could use to sign into their interface, having their employees use it on a daily, get familiarized with it, and then they could turn around, go home, and sign into Facebook with it or their bank accounts. And it's a real world use case, something that's been out, is tested and is proven, and it's being more and more secure every day.
Man, I have a whole book full of passwords, and how much easier would it be just to like use my Digi ID for everything? It would be so much more convenient, you know, and then I have to like change my passwords all the time and all that crap. I love using Digi ID. I really only use it for DigiBroker right now when I create my assets. That's the only like place that I really use it right now. But I would love to see more sites utilizing that technology.
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. And the thing is, that's what we're working on right now. That's what we're building right now. And to see more of what we're building, you guys need to stay tuned. But it's definitely gonna get bigger and better from here, because like it's a new year. It's 2020, and we gotta have that 2020 vision. It's something that I have always dreamt of actually seeing come into to full fruition, and it's inching ever so much closer. Every day that goes by, and all the hard work that we all put in as a community, not just lovers of Digibyte, but lovers of all communities of cryptocurrencies that really come together to make the whole cryptosphere what it is. And even from other people that are in the Litecoin foundation, and shout out to the Litecoin fam. because I'm actually a part of the Litecoin fam. They actually have a East Coast, a West Coast, and a Midwest team, and we actually are very, very active in developing a whole lot of stuff that is so widely used, and it's getting bigger, it's getting better, and it's another project that I really encourage people to look into along with Bitcoin, and it basically just intertwines with each other. So it's literally like, it's like Bitcoin is the all-time granddaddy. That's basically the starter of all cryptos. And then you really have Litecoin, which is like, it would be like the sun, and then you have Digibyte, the cool kid on the block that is literally like everybody's cousin. That is like, the life of the party, and everybody really wants to invite over. It's like, this literally just works hand in hand with all three of them. It's like Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte, and it's become like a trend over the past year or so.
Yeah,
Just
there's that hashtag stronger together now too, that kind of it emphasizes what you're saying.
Yeah, yeah, it does, and even one of my other buddies from the Litecoin, the East Coast team, his name is Johnny Litecoin, but we call him Johnny Litecoin. He's John Moore, but he is a very, very huge advocate as far as payments goes for anything Bitcoin, Litecoin, Digibyte related. He is the man to talk to. He not only talks the talk, but he walks it. And he goes like leaps and bounds to get this stuff in front of businesses. And he really has the complete model down pat. He has places like Ford dealerships accepting Litecoin, accepting Bitcoin as payments, and
That's
he's
so
and he's still it is amazing, and he is working on getting like Digibyte implemented also in so many different places, where it's like this is they have this place called Terminal One in New Jersey. It's like all the way up in Newark in Elizabeth, and they have like crypto events all the time up there. You could go into a bar up there, and all you see is just crypto related stuff. You can go in there, you can buy your drinks with Bitcoin, with Litecoin, with I believe they have Digibyte implemented there. I'm not 100% sure. I would have to ask, but still, in the sense that you actually have places that are willing to accept cryptos for payments, it just shows that the future is now. It's getting there. And once other places starts getting on board along with it, it's going to start driving itself into some places that is truly astronomical. And it's not even talking about from a price standpoint. It's just the matter of adoption, because it's like the way that we see the whole crypto space being like truly rewarding is first having the adoption rolling out, and then the prices will follow, because that is like, it's a given. Once people start using it, it will become more valuable, especially when they know it's a fixed price, and it's actually not only fixed, but it gets more scarce over a certain period of time when they have the halving events come across. And in a sense like that, when you have the halvings come around, it it shrinks the supply and demand standard. So people are not only just trying to get more to actually hold on to, but they're also holding on to whatever they have already. So in that aspect, it's definitely going to become more valuable. It's going to become more rewarding to hold it, and that's what I explain to riders when I take them on a journey, and I talk to them and share with them what it is, what the projects are, what the underlying developments are. because it was this one guy that I took on a ride today, and I took him to the train station in Philly, and it was like a 40 something minute, close to 50-minute ride. So we had plenty of time to talk. I love doing long rides like those, by the way, because I could actually get to explain so many things in that short period of time. And after I actually explained what Digibyte is and told him, what we actually built and what we're currently building, he was like, well, so how, how is this not on a Forbes magazine?
Yeah.
Why is this not more popular? I'm like, it will, it will. It's getting there, but not yet. But sooner than later, they will figure it out.
It definitely has, the potential to be in Forbes top 100 businesses. Everything about DigiByte has the makings of a really amazing and successful business. The infrastructure is there. People don't necessarily see it because we're still laying that out for them. We don't get paid to do marketing. It's very different. Part of what's amazing about the new DigiByte Foundation is that now people have like a representative to talk to. They had the founder, but there was no real like CEO or way to manage money or ask for it or funds in a way that was decentralized but still organized, right?
Yeah.
And so that's what the DigiByte Foundation is going to offer to us.
That is a very smart way to go about it. And as far as like it's funny you actually brought up a representative or like tech support or anything like that, because I have, of course, crypto Twitter on a whole is turning into a very wide community where so many different people from all over the world stay in contact with each other. And one of my good friends, Bitcoin Ben, I'm not sure if you heard of him before,
Yeah,
but but
I've heard of him. I've seen a couple of his videos.
yeah, he's a really really good friend of mine. We've we talk back and forth a lot, and I've had the pleasure of having him on the show. I need to actually get him back on the show for another interview because I've actually had him on, and we've had some technical difficulties in that interview, but it was still a very good interview, and we need to have like a second part to that interview. But they are building something huge, something in Texas, and it's this giant building that it's going to be something so big that he hasn't even give out too much information about it yet. But it's something that is going to be so groundbreaking
You got
that
secrets maps? You got secrets.
it's it's definitely going to be huge with him and these guys, Wild Wild West Cryptos. They are Drew and his other buddy. I believe his name is I think his name is Matt or something like that. I I I apologize if I actually mess his name up, but they're actually like building something very very big in Blanco, Texas, and they actually they have a meetup that's coming up in April, I believe, and I'm definitely trying my best to be there, and it will be kind of like a reunion of some sort from the Litecoin Summit, because a lot of people that were at the summit or didn't get a chance to go there will actually be at that meetup in Blanco, and their initial purpose is they have this huge tent that they're going to be renting out, like a huge space. They've had a couple of meetups there before, and they're actually doing it again. They're trying to make it a yearly event, and they probably might release some more secrets in a couple of videos when they actually have that meetup taking place, because they had like a video of the structure that's being put up, and I think it's like 3 floors. So it's like a giant media center of like anything and everything cryptos. and it is going to have different channels, different streamlines, you name it, they probably have something being built for
You got me daydreaming over here. I'm like
it.
fantasizing about it.
And it's one thing that I love to do, and I definitely love helping people. So I definitely know, like, from you being a stay-at-home mom and actually trying to do your best for your daughter and your family, and having everything being put together, it could be somewhat challenging. So I will definitely reach out to Bitcoin Ben, and we will definitely try to hook you up with a representative position so you could actually get a job in the blockchain industry. It,
Wow, yeah, I'd love to hear more about that. I'm also working on a lot of personal projects. I'm interested in getting some live broadcasts out from my own platform too.
mhm.
And so that's sort of what I'm working on right now, in addition to the DigiGirls project, which is coupled with the asset creation that I'm doing. So real quick about DigiGirls.
Yeah.
It's about empowering women into the crypto space. I
Mhm.
think that there's so much potential for females in this space, and I would love to see more girls in Digibyte. I have a few great friends that already are like flirting with the idea of coming up with some assets for the
Nice.
series. So that's
Nice.
wonderful. Heather and I are talking about it. I've been talking to Debbie Crypto too. And, I've been in contact with Katrin, who's also she's a Digibyte girl too. So, there's a lot of fun to be had with it too.
Yeah, you know what I'm actually thinking? I'm thinking about actually having a couple of you Digigirls on the channel, and actually do like a whole spectrum interview, like maybe about 3 or 4 of you guys put together in one big Zoom meeting, and we all just like go back and forth and discuss the different projects and developments that you guys are working on. That
Yeah.
I think would be
So
very exciting.
CJ too. CJ is somebody that I've been talking about possibly doing some like maybe once a week live videos. She lives close to me. She's in Jersey, I think.
Oh, okay.
I think she's in Jersey. So she's closer to you.
Oh, nice, nice,
Yeah. So
nice.
look her up. It's like at cranberry sauce is her Twitter.
Oh, okay, nice.
And we'll try to get organized and get some stuff out there also. Not your average crypto talks is I think the one that we were playing around with.
Oh, okay, nice. Yeah, that those are like some of the ideas that I look at on the daily. And people really underestimate the power of what communities could come together and get done. Because it's like stuff that is like completely way left of what people even dream of doing. And you could meet people from all walks of life. That's what makes it so impressive. Like, I'm all the way here in the States, and I've connected with Demi DGB, that's like all the way in the Netherlands. We have never met in person before, but we have tons of conversations about different projects. We came together, made designs. I helped her with a couple of designs with her t-shirt line that she has out. The one that is being represented right now on Crypto Bantam, it's the one with Digibyte, and then the different countries that you actually represent, where you're from, and we should actually make a hashtag for that.
Yeah.
We should really make like a hashtag of like a Digibyte, represent where you're from type of hashtag. I think that would really take off. I
All
think that,
around the world. That's
yeah,
wonderful.
I thought it would really take off, because it really has a nice little swing to it. Like represent where you're from, or you could tell people like, oh, okay, well, I'm Digi American, or I'm Digi Irish, or
Well,
I'm
people have
Digi,
done that on Twitter, right?
yeah.
So they have their Digibyte logo, And then the flag is kind of incorporated into it somehow. I've seen a lot of people with their, their profile picture.
Yeah, yeah, and I think more so than anything, like we need to put that at the forefront and start pushing that more, so people could not only use it with only this kind of crypto, but implement it in any other kind of crypto that they actually love. Because I tell people all the time, cryptos isn't just about one or two different coins. It is thousands and thousands of coins out there that people are actively developing every day, and it's getting bigger and bigger. Because I remember at one point, um, there were only like there were less than 100. They were really less than 100. Now you have coins come out that it's like you're wondering what it's actually for. But there is a community for it and people love it, and they will stand behind the project. So if it's what they love, whatever you love, whatever you're interested in, it helps to make up the crypto space. It's one big giant community with the same purpose in mind, to unbank the banked, or basically, reversing the whole aspect of what it was traditionally, like bank the unbanked, and basically you get what I'm saying, right? Like bank the bank and then unbank the bank. So you're really
You
like,
make a song out of that.
yeah, you're really like, you're like decoupling yourself from the traditional financial infrastructure.
And that's another thing that people really need to consider and remember when they are using cryptocurrency. Okay, so we have this amazing network of people, we have this wonderful community. Now, we should really be supporting each other, right, in whatever services that we're offering via cryptocurrency, because that's going to add value to the coin,
Yeah,
whatever
definitely.
coin it is.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. And it's like, that's one of the problems that I've seen in crypto Twitter over the years. It's like people just, they're so quick to lash out on somebody else for not liking, a certain coin, or they would jump and attack other team members, or other projects. And the thing is, if you like a project, by all means, represent your project. If you like it, just go along with what it is that you love. And don't bash other projects, because the thing is, they have their reason that they actually love that project. It's really up to them. That's why it's actually decentralized. It's you basically making a choice on something that you see that fits into your lifestyle. you know Us, on the other hand, we like to stick to like more traditional projects in cryptos, stuff that we actually not so much more saying that it's better than anything else, but it's what we consider as being our favorite. It's stuff that would be considered as blue chip cryptos, other than having like blue chip stock, blue chip stocks, which we really just like look at it in a sense of, if any one of these coins are actually going to come out successful, these are going to be it. And that's why we actually stand behind the projects that we stand behind today.
And I'll tell you what, you have to these days. There are so many wallets, there's so many coins. There's also, the tax regulations. Every time you transfer coins, every time you exchange coins, every time you sell coins, there supposedly is supposed to be a tax on that. Not only that, there's so many different ways of earning different types of coins. How the heck are we going to keep track of all of that? You know, it's really a matter of necessity too. When you align yourself with certain coins, a lot of the reason that people do that is because they don't need the mess of paperwork and or challenges and issues that are going to come out of that. I mean, for Americans anyway, because we're taxed. Some countries aren't.
Yeah, yeah. And the thing is, That's one of the main reasons why I am not a trader and I'm just an all-out hodler. Because being a hodler is, I could say, it's more long term than anything else, but it might be one of the most rewarding ways of actually going about doing it, because you really don't care about price swings. If it goes up, if it goes down, if it goes sideways, you really don't care because you have a goal set in mind. And that goal that you have set in mind is a certain time of you looking at it within a certain amount of time frame, and you're like, okay, once it gets to this time frame, or once it gets to this level, you know I could take a little bit of profit if so choose, or I could just use it and spend it in the native currency. Because at the end of the day, I talk to people all the time, and I tell them, like, you holding traditional USD in your bank account, on average, you're losing between 5 to 8% every single day. You hold money just sitting in your bank account. If you have cryptos in your wallet, say in particular Bitcoin, if you even have something like Bitcoin holding in your wallet, your underlying asset that you hold is actually being appreciated rather than being depreciated. And people really get confused with that, because they look at it and they say, well, how is that possible?
They're
Because
not looking at the value of the US dollar.
yeah, because the thing
Or,
is, that's what they look at. They look at the price swings. Bitcoin is at 10 grand this week, then it goes to 8K, then it goes to 7, then it goes to 3, then it goes to 15. They just look at one thing, the USD to Bitcoin value. I don't look at the USD to Bitcoin value as much as like a lot of people do in like traders, or even like if you swing trade. I don't. What I really look at is the underlying technology and what it actually has to offer. And not only just that, but what it's actually going to be worth in the future. It's going to be worth a whole lot more than one USD, because one Bitcoin is always going to be worth one Bitcoin. But in the future, who knows? One Bitcoin could be worth $1 million. You know what I mean? It could go from here, it could go from here to 50,000 at the end of the year. It could go to 100,000 or whatever. You know what I mean? And it's like, that's one of the things that are really so exciting in the crypto space, where it's so unpredictable. You never know. And all you have to do is really just get involved. Just get involved, play your part, educate people, tell people, share valuable information and stuff that they could use to better their everyday life. Not only with just education, but financial education. Just even in the sense of buying and holding, because a lot of people don't even know, even if you had Cash App, that you have a Bitcoin wallet. You can
yes,
buy, yeah, you
yeah,
can
that was
actually,
really exciting when I first downloaded that and saw that. I was like, whoa,
yeah,
this makes it easy for everyone.
yeah, it's a great onboarding process. It's like one click buy and you're in. And you now hold a piece of the network that is like you know, one of the most incredible performing class, if not the best performing class known to mankind from this generation. And it's as simple as that. That's the simplicity that we need in the overall crypto space.
Exactly. It needs to be stupid simple, like
Yeah,
stupid simple.
yeah. Like, just imagine, and just this is just hypothetically thinking. Just imagine if um, Coinbase were to ever add something like Digibyte, or or even to have like something like um, a Cash App having something like Digibyte support or Litecoin support, or something of that nature, other than just Bitcoin. And then you could actually have swaps that they put into place, something similar to what our good friends over at Change Angel is doing. They even speaking of Change Angel, like, they are like they are literally like a giant, like just growing in the midst. A lot of people don't know how big this is actually going to turn out into.
Yeah,
But
Jin, Ben, and Dean are all in DigiBAT, you know, so they're part of the DigiByte Awareness Team. We have a wonderful relationship with those guys. They were actually with DigiByte, and then they kind of branched off and did the Change Angel thing. But it's, you know, they're amazing resources to have.
oh
Um,
yeah, yeah, they are. They are definitely. Because I actually I had scheduled to have Ben on the show for their anniversary that's coming up. I believe it's coming up on March 1st or something like that, from their Change Angel launch. So I would definitely like to have them on the show and celebrate with them, and probably have people hop on every now and then, and wish them happy birthday and all
Hell
this
yeah! How cool would it
business.
be to have all the Change Angel guys like in a Zoom chat that you could record
Yeah,
and everything?
yeah, exactly, exactly. And they could actually showcase some of their talents, some of the skills that they actually had. We could take a step back in time and talk about how it actually got all started, how it was created.
I actually love to hear that story.
Yeah, that will definitely be a very, very good interview. And it will not only be a very good interview, it would streamline the whole Digibyte process. And not only that, but cryptos in general on a whole, because they have so many different connections to so many different channels and so many different people, that it would just blow up out the water, and people would really find out and learn a lot more about what Change Angel is. And then they'll get exposed to DigiID, because that's one of their underlying technology that they implemented. That's actually one of the first places that I've actually tested out DigiID on. I was just, it was just mind-boggling.
You know, sometimes it just makes you feel like a weight is lifted off of you.
Yeah, yeah, it does. It does. Because it's like, it's so simple. I'm like, why isn't like more people using this stuff? And then sometimes I literally just have to take a step back and catch myself. And it's like, okay, we are responsible for putting the information out there so people could learn more about. If we don't have boots on the ground, if we don't have people like you in the Digibat, or or in the foundation, you know, constantly upgrading stuff, talking to people, talking to developers, to programmers, to coders, having people interconnect with each other and ask questions, and try to provide the best answers as possible to people that may have some of the most complex questions that you might not have the answers to. And just having that layer of technology built in with the actual answers to show how it works goes such a far way. And it's always a good thing to have people not just could make a demonstration to show people how it works, but explain how it actually came about and what the history of this stuff is. That's always an added plus. And it's like, it's almost like being a digi ambassador, where you really just represent the brand and you tell people all the stuff that you actually have, all the experience that you actually have with it. And even that interview that I did with Laura, like I was talking to her and I was telling her that we actually have like a lot of exciting stuff being built. One of them is a dream of mine to actually have a full-fledged Digibyte course. And not only a Digibyte course, but so many other courses and so many other cryptos, where you could literally just go on there, you go through a full-fledged course, and at the end of it, you are basically certified, where you could take that certification and you could go on Indeed, you could go into the blockchain space, and you could go on to start a career. Not only in the sense of just doing something in blockchain, but in a special, like you're specialized in a certain kind of project where like you're a, say for instance, you're a DigiByte specialist or a Bitcoin specialist or a Litecoin specialist, or, or even something else for any and any project that you really think of that you think actually adds value to the crypto space. It's it's um it's it's really it's really amazing, and I think it can be done. It could really be done. It would be a very, very big dream come true if I could see something like that happen.
So look at all of the work that you and I do on a day-to-day basis. We basically are ambassadors for the coins that we're talking about at the time. You know, you're talking to people on a daily basis through your Uber, and I am constantly like giving people advice on how to use the tools that are given by DigiByte. And I'm also introducing them to things like how to use their wallets, how to use the digi assets, constantly spending time with them and letting them know what the best way to use it is so that they can become more comfortable with it.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, that's really what the space needs. More people in the space that are knowledgeable about what they do, and not only not not only just have the knowledge of the underlying technology, but is really confident and have the passion. Because see, when you have the passion for something such as this, it don't even seem like doing work.
No,
It's like
and you
getting
never give up either,
no, no, you literally don't, because all you do is you get up every day and it's like doing it, it's not even like a chore. You get up and just seems like a hobby, and you do it so effortlessly, and it just flows like water. You really don't worry about having having any headaches with having challenges, because it's like, okay, this is fun to me. I do this all day every day and I don't break a sweat. So you look forward to every day waking up doing something that you love. That is truly amazing.
So the other interesting part of this is being connected to crypto Twitter and being connected to people all around the world. I get questions all the time from people that don't have English as their first language, right?
Hmm.
And it's like, explaining these very like technical things sometimes can be a little bit overwhelming, where it's just like, okay, how can I explain this in a way that you're gonna get it and that it's gonna stick with you? But I don't have the heart to just like let it go and give up. I'm always there to the end of whatever it is that I'm explaining with them. And I think that that's important as far as creating a global community.
Yeah, yeah, it's definitely important. And that's one of the reasons why I love that this thing is global, because not only can you actually communicate with people all over the world, but there is somebody there that knows about what we're talking about.
And man, I never sleep.
Trust me,
I'm up
I,
all
I I know exactly what this is all about. I really try to fit 26-hour into a day. Like, that's literally my days all day, every day. It's literally like I'm nonstop. I'm always doing something that is occupying my time. When I
So we started this video at 3 o'clock, right? And I didn't know how long it was gonna go, but it went almost until we were ready to do our video here. And it's just like we were talking about people. Josiah's in New Zealand. We've
Mhm.
got we got the DigiByte Foundation guys. They're in the Netherlands or something, and we've got a few really influential people like LT. She's on the east coast of the US, right?
Yeah, yeah, she's in Pittsburgh.
Yep, yep, she's in Pennsylvania, right? So we've got like people all over the world. Blazard's in Norway.
Wow, that
We've got
is amazing.
Digital Africa, people. But this chat that we were in, we were all talking about like, how we're trying to coordinate our timing so that we're all awake. And it doesn't matter though, because like we're always chatting, right? So one person, you know, James from Crypto Mugs, he was in
Oh,
there, and he's like he's in the
yeah,
UK.
yeah, yeah. And he is literally like, it's such a small world out there. James is literally like minutes from where my sister lives, because I have a sister that lives in the
Oh, no
UK.
way.
And I told him that the minute I get there, I'm definitely gonna come hang out with them and we will have a blast. But I've
He's
actually,
gonna have you on a video. I know
oh,
it.
oh yeah, yeah. It's something in the works. I've been on their show before, but
Yeah.
I actually had a hangout session with them from the Crypto Mug Investors podcast. But he is having his own spinoff show now, I believe. So he's definitely
Yeah,
taken.
it's called Bitcoin's Big Picture,
Oh,
and
nice,
the Twitter is at Bitcoins P.
nice,
So that's how you
nice,
can
nice.
find that.
He is such a cool guy. You know, him and Mike. They are two really good friends of mine. You know, I always chit chat with them back and forth every now and then, and we always try to keep in contact. They are funny. They are a set of characters together. Them two, they are something else. They are something like you have never actually you never really had the amount of energy that you think you would have until you actually get on a podcast with those guys. They will
Absolutely. I
say,
love pulling energy off other people. That's why, you know, if I'm doing my own thing too, I
Mhm.
definitely want to have at least, you know, half of the broadcast be involving other people.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely, because it always makes it so much more exciting and thrilling at the same time. People could really, find something to relate to, and it's, their energy though. It's like bouncing off the wall type stuff. They would literally say some of the most craziest stuff on their show. They are something else. Like, just watching the two of them is like, if you ever have a down day, just put on one of those crypto mug investor shows on. And your day will definitely turn around, because those guys are something else. They literally have a gift. And the number one thing with what they did was they were 100% real. They are literally like that. They were just being themselves. They don't script anything. Everything is 100% authentic, just like I do my shows. Nothing is script. I just do this off the top of the dome. Like, this is all freestyle. I basically developed these skills over time. And it just grew into something that just became so much bigger and better over time, that I myself look back and I'm shocked at what I'm doing, but I still keep going, because I know that I have a goal and a task at hand that needs to be done. And I just can't sit down. I can't give up. I just got to keep moving.
It's totally worth it, man. You know, you're making lasting connections in the meantime too. If it
Yeah.
was all scripted, you're just gonna be like, okay, that was fun. Next, you know.
Yeah, it's almost like robotic. And it's like, with this, you go along and you not only have like pieces of a diary that you could save for a lifetime, but you just made a new friend, and your family just got that much bigger. And
Exactly.
and that's one of the most amazing thing about the crypto space, is it's like the general overall love of what you feel from other communities and other individuals. Like, we got up and we flew clear across the country, on all the way to the west coast, to Vegas, and we were actually there for a couple of days. And the overall love that we felt, not only people from the Bitcoin community, but people from the Litecoin Foundation and the Litecoin community and the DigiByte community. I've met up people that I didn't even know that was actually a fan of mine. It's like, oh, you're that guy. Oh, you map to success, especially this one this English guy. I forgot what his name was. he came up. He was like, "Oh, hey, I know you. You're that guy in Map to Success, yeah?" And I was like, "Oh, dang! Like I didn't. I'm actually getting out there. People
Yeah.
are actually realizing. They're like, oh, you want to go? You want to get an autograph or something? Like, can I get a picture?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, sure." Like, you stand there and it's almost like you feel like you're a celebrity in a space where you didn't even think it was possible.
That's
Like,
gonna feel pretty good.
yeah, like
How
you
are
go
you
out
doing
there.
about like managing things, by the way, like messages and like general traffic and stuff like that, comments, etc.?
So basically, I'm pretty active on Twitter. Twitter is like one of the number one places to really find me because I'm always active on Twitter. I'm always talking to my Litecoin fam on Twitter. We literally have a chat room where it's like invite only, and we basically it's like a whole family. We literally tell each other good night and good morning every day. It's like,
Me too. I'm on Twitter all the time, and
yeah.
as far as the other platforms, I'm starting like new accounts for the live broadcasting and everything right now. So, but Twitter is pretty much the home base.
Yeah, yeah, and it's like that's one of my number one places to be. So anybody and everybody that really wants to follow me on Twitter, it's Map to Success 201, and that's mainly where I'm at. You know, I have a page also on Instagram, but I use it every now and then. That one is Map to Success 7131, and it has like a couple of different pictures with videos and stuff put up on there. But I'm mostly focused on crypto Twitter because most of the information that is like instant is basically on Twitter, and you could really just go, it's just always updated, like every minute, and it's a lot more fast paced. Where on Instagram, it's more like you post a picture and they stay there for a couple of months and you get a couple of likes, and it's like overall just boring. Twitter is something that's a lot more active. A lot more people actually get on there. More people are more active on Twitter, I think, than most of the other platforms. That and Facebook. But I'm mainly interactive mostly on Twitter. That's where you'll find me most.
Awesome. And also, if anybody wants to follow me and kind of check out where I'm going, track my development, I'm still super new to a whole lot of this. So, this is like the ground level. It's at Amanda underscore Devik, Devik. If you'd like to give me a follow, I'll try to follow you back too.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. And I always try to put like my people that I interviews information in the description below. So you guys should definitely check the description. You'll see all the different areas of social media that we use, and you could actually go there. It provides all the information that we actually do on the daily, all the updates and projects that we work on, and all the different people that we actually connect with on the whole in the crypto space. And it's something that is getting bigger and better. It's definitely getting better. And it's like it's the little things like these that helps you to grow into being somewhat of what people would call a crypto vet, which is like if you basically go anywhere over 2 years going upwards, you really classified as a crypto vet, really. That's like if you could go through a series of bull runs and you go through the ups and downs and the swings up and down, and basically the whole roller coaster ride, and you're still here hanging on, hodling.
In 4 years, we're going to be talking about coronavirus and how much hell that was for everyone.
Oh yeah. Oh
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Isn't that
definitely,
crazy?
definitely. And it's like it's so crazy how you brought that up because it's like I heard it on the news today where this poll that they put out from Corona that people actually stop drinking the beer because they think it's actually like
Come
they
on,
think
that's gotta be fake news. You can't be that
they
dumb. I'm sorry, but
they think
damn.
it's actually coincided with the coronavirus. So people are actually boycotting sales from Corona.
You know,
So
the
it's,
coronaviruses have existed for like a long time. This is just a particularly gnarly strain of one, and nobody's like heard of it. You know,
yeah, and it's like, sales are hurting, I heard, and people are like, "Oh, I'm never drinking that beer again."
that's
And
ridiculous.
it's just one of those things where it happens and the least bit of information could spiral into something totally different.
Yeah, big game, a telephone.
Oh yeah, yeah, it definitely is. It definitely is. But we've been definitely going on for like
Yeah,
quite a
I think it's
bit.
probably about time to wrap it up. So,
Yeah.
like and subscribe.
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely
Yes.
with with all the developments, all the projects, everything that we work on and everything that we love, um, you know, definitely like, subscribe, share, and I'm definitely looking forward to having you on the show again, Amanda. It's been quite a pleasure. It's been a blast. I had fun chatting with you, and I definitely look forward to having you on the show again very, very soon.
Excited to be here. Thank you, and looking forward to next time.
Yeah. So as I always let the my interviewees, have like a last say about, you know, anything, educational, anything inspirational that they want to share with the audience before we wrap up. Feel free to just share and just share your thoughts.
So, if you're entering the crypto space, again, I just want to stress follow your passion, do what you're great at and connect with people through cryptocurrency because it's only going to help you do what you want to do in the long term.
Great, great. That is such a great, great piece of motivational speech. And I'm pretty sure a lot of people will take that into consideration and definitely take on their passion. And I always try to end the show with a note. You probably heard it the last time, it's starting to become a thing. And as usual, it's mapped to success. And it's 2020. Don't lose the keys. Unlock your dreams. Amanda, you've been a great interviewee. Thanks for having you on the show. I look forward to having you again pretty soon. Stay cryptic, guys. Peace.
Pick